Britain's Most Wanted, boys. Turns out we've now got the full list, at least those who have done such heinous acts that would make them the most wanted. And they're all foreigners, it seems.
Wow.
They're weird.
Who could have imagined?
They're all
Pack the city full of foreigners, and most of the crime is done by foreigners. Ooh.
But it's a specific kind of foreigner. Those who say they are fleeing danger and persecution and circumstances.
Retribution, perhaps? Is that what they're fleeing?
Yes.
Justice?
I'm
criminal
technically,
justice?
no. When we get to my segment, you see, it is they're fleeing justice.
So this is the news. This is the big story, which, as you can see here, the news broke in which people started posting footage from an event, an incident in Clapham. 9 people injured in an apparent acid attack, including a mother and 2 children. Okay.
Can I do a Snopes fact check on this? Actually, it was an alkali attack, not an acid attack. Sorry.
Well, as we'll speak in mine, but it was actually, in my segment, it was actually 12 now is confirmed to have hurt. So it's actually worse than just 9.
But that was the story.
Not that just 9
Mega
is
Snopes
bad
fact
anyway.
check on this one.
Thanks, boys. I'm always glad to be flanked by Snopes. But there we are. We have more, which came out. The police the next day were like, there's been a thing. There's been one of them crimes that we sometimes talk
We've
about.
heard so much about.
You know those things we don't solve or deal with?
We're launching an investigation. Now, public, can you help us? Call the police.
What I love about this is the police are acting like, why are you coming to us? What have we got to do with this?
We don't know what we're doing. If you know what my job is, please call 999 and tell us. Which was a bit weird.
You ring up. Shouldn't you be solving this? Excellent idea. We'll take it into consideration.
I'll add it to the pile.
Let's crowdsource it, shall we?
You might notice there was no description of a suspect. A manhunt is underway to trace a suspect after a corrosive
suspect.
Yeah, they've got the Snopes.
Clapham man, I'm sure.
Yeah. Some Clapham man threw a corrosive substance at people in Lambeth.
No. We don't know it's a man. We just know it's a suspect.
Suspect.
Oh, yeah. It could be a woman. Could be a child. Could be a dog.
Thing.
Just a suspect. We're going to put the dog on trial, just like in France.
But eventually, people notice that usually acid attacks are not done by like cats or dogs. They're done by certain types of humans. And the police didn't
might
tell
have
us.
been a Bully XL, you don't know.
Yeah, the police didn't tell us who it was. So everyone was sat there going, well, I mean, what do? You just wait. Come on, say it.
Well, to
You're
be
going to
fair,
say it.
I was going to say, we're sitting at the sidelines going, yeah, go on.
Yeah, but we've got
an immigrant, wasn't it?
The lack of description is the description. Right, okay, brown man did it. Right, got it.
Well, here's the source.
Oh,
there you are. We've now released the picture.
I don't know, he looks like a lost Gallagher to me.
They're naming the man involved. He was Abdul Sukur Azidi.
Oh, yeah.
And you should call 999 and not approach him. Now, I don't know if you boys noticed, but this was a bit of a weird thing to do. They uploaded a picture here. That's clearly a passport photo as well. So, yeah, that's not.
It could be a mugshot, I suppose.
Maybe, could be, yeah. Because
average criminal immigrant.
But I wanted to drop off real quick and get to Newsnight, because whilst this was all breaking and the news was coming out, Newsnight did this segment. And as you can see, on the panels on the background, they're actually talking about this acid attack. And of course, their focus was on misogyny and microaggressions being the cause of Abdul Nasim Haq Mahinan throwing acid in a mother and children's face.
What happened is he got side-eyed too many times by the evil whites.
Well, if we'd intervened and told him, no,
Did you watch this?
I'll play it if you want.
No, you don't.
It's only 30 seconds of
You don't play it. I watched the entire thing. I watched the entire Newsnight. Right? It's incredible. These 3 bourgeois women sit around and go, yeah, well, microaggressions definitely had a direct through line to this acid attack. Where it's like, right, I don't think that's the case. But then, literally, that's half of the program. And they go, so these refugees from Afghanistan, we need to get them into the country as soon as we can. That's literally the second half of the entire
we need
thing.
more of this.
And it's just like, what is...
Yeah. This is Caroline Nooks, who refuses to tell you what a woman is, another woman who doesn't know what a woman is, and then a third middle-class bourgeois woman who doesn't know what a woman is. And you'll notice the response. There's a lot of, like, our guys, and then it's a lot of Posey Parker's gals.
Yeah.
Well, you don't know what women are, close the borders until we know.
The fact that it literally goes to how can we get more Afghan refugees in the country directly afterwards is just exactly what I'd expect from Clown World.
And
that's what they want. They said chaos on the streets, systems working as it should be.
Yeah.
Let's get more in. Pack them in, boys.
So the apparatus is doing its usual thing of being clowns in a time of panic. And then the police decided, we can't do the job. Bounty hunters. Are you available?
Dog the bounty hunter is on this one.
Where's Mr. Marston? A reward of 20,000 British pounds or good boy points is being offered for Abdul Aziz.
Up to. So you don't know. They might just hand you a $5.
Here's one good boy point. You can redeem that at your local Tesco's.
To be
20
fair,
club card points.
Privatising law enforcement to the tune of £20,000 per criminal court.
Yeehaw.
Yeah, I'm just saying you could turn that into a profitable endeavor.
Yeah, I mean, this is stupid because it used to be the case that the Metropolitan Police would go and
arrest people.
Yeah, go get them for you, and you pay them 20 grand in taxes. But now they'll pay you 20 grand to do their job, which I mean is better.
Yeah,
you are quite right. So you can see here they released a second photo. I don't know what's going on with his eye there.
Yeah, he looks like he's in a car accident or something like that.
Well, what probably happened, which we'll get into on my segment, is he probably accidentally threw acid in his own face. I have suspicions this man might be operating
as an alkaline substance.
sorry. But I have a sneaking suspicion this man might be working in conjunction with the Looney Tunes Acme Corporation. He is so bungling.
Yes, he is definitely being instructed by Wile E. Coyote.
Yeah, and yet somehow has still managed to evade police capture. That's how terrible this country is.
With doctors, lawyers, and engineers, no chemists. I don't know why you're expecting better. You can see they got 1.9 million views, which for a British police post about a single suspect is quite a lot. It's not usual. You can see they go on in here, and most people are just like, could you not just do your job? And then there's obviously the question of, well, this has been offered for what, day and a half? Not a single person who knows where he is for a day and a half now has thought, I could do with 20 grand.
Yep. Well, because there are definitely people who know where he is, because he's got to have been somewhere.
They've instead gone with, he's a good friend. He's worth more than 20 grand.
He's a good Christian.
Yes, he is. So here's the details on the suspect here in question.
Go on, then.
So, Clapham chemical attack suspect, a good Muslim, despite claiming to convert to Christianity. So, friends of pizza takeaway chef, this is the suspect, he was a good worker, who claimed he had changed religion.
Wait, hang on. Are you saying he's not a doctor or a lawyer?
No, it turns out pizza is from Afghanistan.
Right.
Actually, I've been there and I know they've invented it.
Or is it that he's just got a PhD in applied physics and can't find enough work because there are so many doctors and lawyers?
No, we wouldn't know the recipe for pizza if it wasn't for Abdul. Now, Abdul, I can't make that any more clear.
Listen, we need to calculate the GDP ratio that an influx of pizza takeaway chefs will add to the country.
How many pizzas do you make every week? How many acids?
And what benefits do you take?
Yeah. But they say the pizza takeaway chef in question, Mr. Abdul, he claimed he changed religion to get an asylum application accepted. Although he also said he was planning to return to Afghanistan to find his wife.
Oh.
Right, so he's claiming asylum even though he's going home to find a good woman.
Many such cases.
It's not that he has a wife in Afghanistan. He wants a good woman, and he can't find one here. So he's going home to get one.
I just find this is like a very Malay thing, isn't it? It's like, why are so many of our benefits claimants taking holidays to various countries?
The ones they say they're fleeing.
Yeah.
So he told the shopkeeper his favorite Middle Eastern specialty food store and where he bought halal meat. Yes, Average Church of England. He told that person that that's where he was going back to Afghanistan. And speaking on the condition of anonymity, the halal butcher, who was a Kurdish Iranian, said to Azidi that he would pay 50 to 60 quid for half a halal sheep, which he put in his freezer and would have for a couple of weeks. So he claimed to be an asylum seeker. He did this twice, apparently, failed both claims, then got done for sexual assault, and then said, I found the Lord. Officer, let me in.
Are you sure it wasn't the sexual assault that they said, well, now you meet all the requirements. Come on in.
Now you're a real asylum seeker.
You know, you joke, but I swear to God, when we get to my segment, you're going to be like, right, that might actually be true. Because the thing is, as well, right, am I the only person who's actually shocked that the idea that someone saying I'm a Christian might actually get them asylum status?
Yeah, because it's obvious bollocks.
Well, it's not even...
Well, even outside of that, who cares?
Yeah, it's not even this obvious bollocks.
Christian, you can't send me back to Afghanistan.
No, there are Christians being arrested on the streets.
Yeah, in England.
Christianity is literally like a disgraceful religion in this country as far as the institutions are concerned. Like, Islam is a favored religion in this country. I can't believe that claiming, I'm a Christian, gets you any brownie points with these people.
So this is obviously disgusting. I mean, local man breaks into country, commits, lies, then commits sexual assault, then lies and gets granted permission to stay and then acid attack someone. The thing I find more mad about all this is the suspect in question, his timeline. People haven't focused on the timeline for some reason. So he came to the country illegally through Dover on a lorry in 2016. claimed asylum and was rejected. Why? Because we owned Afghanistan. We were running the bloody place. We were paying half their budget every year, you may remember.
But also, what was the... All right, you can't claim asylum. Okay, bye then. What
do you mean on your merry way?
Yeah, just, okay, we're not deporting then? No, we just let them go back into the population.
That's the bit I find madder, because it's like, we owned the country. It was our puppet state. And we can't deport people back to our puppet state because... Okay. And then in 2018, he was done
Conservative government.
Oh, because the anti-racist education centres hadn't been set up yet.
That aspect of this story, I think, is more important than people seem to give it credit for. But getting on, Azidi said he was not the first refugee, but he's not the first refugee, to have claimed asylum by lying than saying he converted to Christianity. In 2021, you may remember, the Liverpool bomber.
I do remember.
Mm-hmm.
Another priest was like, "Oh, my
average
son,
Christian man.
you are so blessed. You are like Jesus. I am a good Christian. Bring you in. I wish you to be one of us."
You know what I need to do? Blow up Liverpool Cathedral.
Just like Jesus
like the
wanted.
average, just like Jesus wanted.
But
as every good Christian.
But that's the reverend speaking. I mean, the Muslim in this case, the asylum seeker, turned up and was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm Christian.
Yeah.
Now let me stay. Thank you for that. Now I'm going to bomb the place." I mean, I'm sorry, but I am very sick of these individuals. Like, the Christians doing this are evil people, because you have to be stupider than James O'Brien to not realize that they're lying to you. I mean, the guy's still going and getting halal food every night, and you're like, "Oh yes, what a good Christian. He's one of us." Yeah, no. I mean, give him some wine. I mean, there's a quote from the halal butcher saying he never brought alcohol. He was a good Muslim.
I bet.
That's where that comes from.
Yeah.
So there we are.
Yeah, and he even points out in this quote, some Muslims do buy alcohol, but he never did. Because I've known Muslims working different jobs, and yeah, a lot of them do buy lots of alcohol and get drunk on the weekend. So he must have been particularly devout and dedicated.
He also goes on to say that he was a short man, but very respectful. I never saw anything bad about him. One of my customers sent me the news that he was wanted. It was horrifying. If I see him, I will call the police. So there we are. We have one man's word.
Yeah, but I trust this guy.
But I thought he was respectful and very good guy. A good Muslim. He keeps saying it in this interview for some reason. Last time I had a talk with him, I asked him, why doesn't he get married? And he said, I have no money. I have to go back to Afghanistan to get married, to be with one of our people. He's very hardworking, works 7 days, which is why it's very hard to find a wife, said the halal butcher. I think we have the most perfect example ever of why every argument for mass immigration, or specifically asylum seekers, is bollocks. And this not only hits on the progressive open borders types, but on the free marketeers as well.
Oh yeah, he's like the platonic ideal for our side.
He's got a job.
If we were to come up with a caricature of what this kind of person would be, it would be this kind of person.
What, a repeat acid attacker? Sorry, alkali attacker.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Who doesn't have any money, makes no money, and
has got no interest in integrating.
And whatever money he will make, will send back to Afghanistan with him when he moves back, so that he can get married there.
Yeah.
Direct quote there. I want to go back to be with our people.
Yeah. I mean, if the entire Blairite project of immigration was predicated on the idea that these people would integrate, well, here we go.
But I hate to be that guy. We were having lunch with Godfrey Bloom. He's a great guy, love him. But we were talking about the boat people in the hotel nearby. And we mentioned about those who are working illegally for Deliveroo and Just Eat. And he said, well, you want to fast track those guys because at least they're making money. And I just thought to myself, no. This is a very good example why.
Isn't this an argument to fast track the Albanians because they're making money as well? Stacks of cash.
Cocaine is a very lucrative industry.
Apparently, so is trafficking humans.
Well, yeah, I mean that's the thing. Okay, they're making money. How much and for who?
Yeah,
and what are they spending it on?
Exactly. These are the important questions.
Not that you should dissolve an entire civilization just because some guy with some flash cash is going to come over and spend some money anyway. That's not a reason to destroy your entire civilization. But
I'm not even angry with these guys because it's like, okay, well, if I'd grown up in the Cold War and we'd required Margaret Thatcher to...
Yeah, he's an old boy.
Yeah, exactly.
But you get young people saying this stuff.
Exactly. Fair enough. I understand that's his mindset from that paradigm.
But we are out of that paradigm.
Yeah.
For decades now, it's been that way. And I wanted to make this point crystal clear because I did this tweet, which is really just a way of me collecting headlines so I can show you them. Well, here's the one, obviously, that just happened. And I wanted to use BBC headlines exclusively because I love how they always bury the fact that the person was an asylum seeker somewhere in the text. Because it keeps happening. The idea that paradigm of asylum seekers being people like, oh, I don't know, Gian Park, a North Korean mother with children. That's gone. That's been gone for years, decades even. Because you can just go through these stories and it never ends. I mean, here's the Liverpool bomber. He obviously lied. We went over that one. And you get this guy, Parsons Green bomber. He was planning his terrorist attack whilst saying he was a good boy to the police here, pretending to be a model asylum seeker, was a quote from the judge. Another one here, Manchester Arena bomber. The father of the Al-Baidi brothers was thought to have lied on his asylum application.
No kidding.
But later just received British citizenship.
Why not?
Right? It's a good boy. And then we have the Reading stabbing.
Yep.
Originally claimed he was fleeing for asylum, which was granted in 2018. We have Kamir Butt. So this is the London Bridge attacker who, was engaging in petty crime. And at that time, we granted him asylum, indefinite leave to remain in the UK. Because why not? I love petty criminals. There's another one here. Asylum seeker who murdered a man over a row over an e-scooter. He was flagged as a potential terrorist. So he was in the country. We saw he was a terrorist, and then he killed someone whilst claiming asylum. At no point in that process of, oh no, I think he's a terrorist. But he is claiming asylum, though. And we could deport him, being a terrorist suspect, but no.
I mean, he's murdered someone. I think we should hang him.
Yeah, but even before you even get to the murder stage, every one of these individuals shouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
There's something really badly wrong with their case.
Yeah.
I mean, in France, if we just pop over for a minute, that guy, refugee status in Sweden, and then came to France. Because
he claimed to be a Christian as well.
Yeah, claimed to be a Syrian Christian. Got rejected in France because the French aren't as stupid as us. This one I couldn't find a BBC headline for.
Yeah.
So, channel migrant drugged, raped, and strangled a 13-year-old girl. Yep. This was in Austria.
Yep.
He then fled to the UK for safety from the consequences of his actions. And then
being persecuted, Cal.
Yeah, and then we granted him asylum.
Of course we did.
There we are. It just goes on and on. I found another one here.
Conservative government, all of this.
This girl, killed by an asylum seeker when the Home Office had been told she was lying on her application. It was on. Asylum application was unsuccessful. So he decided to kill the old woman he was staying with.
Just the rivers of blood, man.
The moment it's unsuccessful, the moment you find out they're lying, the moment you find out they're a threat, that hour, a police unit should be sent to pick them up, put them in a cell until you find the flight. Because they're just a violent criminal. They violently broke into your country.
It shouldn't be a controversial thing to say.
And I'm sorry, but this case is really something that is the straw that broke the camel's back for me in this sense. Asylum applications in this country are now disproportionately murderers, terrorists, and con men compared to the natives. And on that terrorist point, we've been through it before. It's about 1 in 4 now in the last 2 decades. It's 25% of all terrorist attacks are asylum applications.
Yeah.
Asylum applicants. Whereas the number of asylum applicants in the country is around about 1% at max. That's if you're rounding to the nearest percent. 25% of terrorist incidents. Never mind, we just go on. I don't know what the full numbers are for murder, etc., because the data's not been fully released. But you can find headline after headline. This is a guy who decided to kill this woman here because they said they were deporting him back to Iran for being a liar. So he just killed her, right? Should have arrested him that day.
Did you include the guy who failed to get deported, so tried to murder somebody because he was trying to get deported?
I didn't find that one, actually.
Yeah, we covered that when it happened last year.
Oh, yeah, he stabbed someone in...
he was trying to get deported from the country, and the country said, no, we won't deport you. So he said, guess I've got to murder someone then.
Yeah, and we still didn't deport him. So no.
It's seemingly just endless. I mean, here's another guy. He raped a student because he was bored. He didn't have an argument for why he did it. This one's quite weird. The BBC went with the Leeds man, jailed for murdering woman.
Yep.
He
Average Leeds man.
Fled Sudan in 2015. So that's the magic soil at work there. A whole 4 years, and you've become a Leeds man. That's fantastic. Swansea man, also jailed after he witnessed a rape. No, he's not a Swansea man. Al Turkey over here was not from Swansea.
I just want people to remember as well, when they say jailed, that makes it sound like it's something permanent. It's not permanent.
No.
We'll get to
it. Goes on and on and on.
All of these people have horrifying dead eyes as well, even in the candid photos that they choose of these people. Yeah, because they try and find the nicest photos available of these people so that they can get some sympathy from them and say, see, it's not all asylum seekers, and also even if it is this asylum seeker, had the circumstances been different,
it's not their fault. They're really the victim.
Yeah, he would have been just a good boy who didn't do nothing, like we keep telling you he is. But I could tell you at a glance from any of these people, just like looking at these photos, like, why would you have trusted any of these people? I wouldn't even get close enough to these people so they could reach me in the street.
So I want to bring it to an end on this one here, because I don't know which one is more similar to the case we just had, basically. So this guy here, who raped a woman in Glasgow, 2010, he applied for asylum and was rejected. He then made further submissions to the Home Office and was rejected. And then in October 2010, he said he had no further right of appeal and was told to leave the UK.
Oh.
Well,
we
we
have
told him
instructed
so.
you to leave, and we expect on your honor as a decent gentleman that you will go.
As a very good criminal, I'm sure your word is law. No, he went on to just rape a woman and stay here, because why wouldn't he? And that's 5 years later, as you can see. And this is the pattern I want to get at. I don't want to obviously give the wrong conclusion, which is that all asylum seekers are this or whatnot. No, it's just that era of which they were all Dostoevskys is gone for decades. Instead, we have people who are fleeing, well, justice, and have then come here to commit crimes. And all of these men in this example should have gone. And the defense team in this man's case said in the court that he was hiding in plain sight all the time, and the authorities could have easily found him and deported him.
Wait, was that his defense?
That's his defense.
His defense was, well, to be fair, Your Honor, the authorities are retarded.
Yes.
I mean, that's a good point.
He said, I did break into your country. You knew I was a threat. So why haven't, it's not my fault I raped a woman. You should have deported me.
In his defense, he was right there, Your Honor. Why didn't you do it?
Yeah. That's the
That's a good
lawyer
question.
representing the criminal.
It's just like, are you my defense or what? Shut up. What are you doing?
But I have to think that the defense here is probably some police assigned lawyer, right? And it's probably just at his wit's end. Because why else would you say that? Because it's obviously not helping the defendant. It's more like the system is broken. And all of these examples and this story, I think, are a great, showing of that, which is we need to wake up as a society. It's over. It's not the case that we're dealing with instead Dostoevsky's or people coming from North Korea, for example. No, a lot of the people we're getting in are the danger. They're not fleeing danger. They are the danger. And we can prove it. And even when we're dealing with them like this, the police do not go around and arrest them and get them deported. They let them hide in plain sight, know where they are, and don't deport them. If you appreciated that segment from the podcast of the Lotus Eaters, you can go to lotuseaters.com to get access to all the premium content that's on the site, such as the Contemplation series, this episode on Freud and psychoanalysis. If you'd like to find out what else is being put out, you can follow on Twitter at lotuseaters_com on Twitter. Thank you and goodbye.